Okay, and we are live. Hello, everyone. How is it going? I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. And I am here with my dear friend, Toni Ivey from OMEGANET Inc. Welcome, Toni.
Thank you. Welcome. Hello, everyone.
It's so great to be here with Toni because, so many private label sellers are really wondering, how do I get beyond Amazon? How do I, are my products even ready for that? Can I, how do I sell wholesale? Somebody posted in, Darren Tilley posted in the Amazing at Home group yesterday. He asked, what kind of things should I include in a contract with someone? So he had someone reach out to him on his website, which is what often happens to us, right? We'll have a website, someone will reach out to us and they'll say, well, I would like to buy your products wholesale for my store. And so Darren said, Amy, what do I do? What kind of contract do I need to have in place? And people really don't know. So Toni, she has just been in this industry forever, and she's got just all this knowledge, and she is going to help us master getting the first steps to starting to sell wholesale. So we're not talking big box retailers now. We got a long way to go before we get there. We're talking smaller specialty retailers, the first step. So we're going to get into it now. I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to let Toni take it away with, let's see here. I just want to make sure that I have the full screen here. Oh, wrong one. Let me come back here one more time. I want to get the full screen one. So there we go. All right, can you see that? Good. Let's get started then. All right, Toni, I would love for you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Wonderful. Well, I'm excited to talk to all of you. Yes, OMEGANET Inc. has been in business for 22 years. We were the first in the industry to really start taking wholesalers online, so stores could order online. But yes, I was doing 22 gift shows a year, having many booths representing other lines, importing lines, back in the 90s. And in the late 90s, I started OMEGANET because there needed to be a way that stores could find products in between shows, trade shows, and manufacturers could show their products and new items and everything in between shows. And there had to be an easier way. And so we started OMEGANET and have helped close to 1,000 different manufacturers sell to stores, mom and pop stores all over the country, all over North America, and other places, South America, etc. Doing millions of dollars worth of wholesale e-commerce. And it's just an exciting thing to be able to talk to you about how we can help you take the next step.
Yes. And, back in the day when you got started, Toni, it was a lot. If you were a retailer who wanted to sell to a mom and pop or, any kind of store that was across the country, you had to go to trade shows. And you you had to live on the road, right? You didn't get to kind of sell out of your website or out of your home and so now, what you've done with OMEGANET has kind of changed the whole landscape. It's really gotten, it's given people the ability to sell, to access all of these smaller independent retailers that would not otherwise be able to access without going to a trade show.
Well, and there are trade shows. There are major trade shows. The Atlanta one is the largest. New York, Dallas, Las Vegas. And then there's regional ones around the market. So to really get us spread all over the nation, You had to be on the road. Some of my clients have told me that they do 30 to 45 trade shows a year. Well, that's ridiculous. I myself,
Wow.
at this point, I was doing 20 to 22 trade shows a year in the Southwest. And I said, there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be an easier way. And so we have found it, and it's been highly successful.
Yeah, and you helping with Amazing at Home is not new. You've been helping we had the Canton Fair Experience. You were helping with the Canton Fair Experience participants, and you've also helped so many of my clients at Amazing at Home get started in wholesale. So I love that.
Yeah.
So I think the first question that people have is, are my products a good fit? Right. So let's talk about some things to consider before maybe thinking about taking the wholesale leap. So the first thing that you should ask yourself is, do you have a website? Right. Do you and Toni can build you a website just for selling wholesale. That's fine. But if you already have a website, if you're only selling your products on Amazon, for example, and your brand doesn't really live anywhere, then you might have a few extra steps to complete before you can get into selling wholesale, because you really want to have some brand presence off of just Amazon. So a lot of people, they just launched their product on Amazon and they don't have anything. They don't have a website or anything. So again, Toni's company can build you a website that's specific for wholesalers, and that they can log into and order from you. So don't let this be a complete barrier, but it's something to think about when you're thinking about just really starting to expand your company. Do I have that right, Toni?
Definitely. There are several steps. There's several things to consider. One of the things that is very important is that you know what brand you have. Building your brand, and where people know your name. But there's steps even before that. Do you have a logo? Do you have certain colors that you use? One of the things we're dealing with a lot of people that sell only to Amazon is that their products are not packaged in a way that would be in a retail store. So a lot of times I'll tell people, go to a retail store, look at how things are packaged. We need to figure out a way to not just present your item in a plastic bag, but let's design a header. Let's do some packaging. And again, your brand, your colors. That's one thing that we need to talk about, is the packaging. But even before that is that, do you have the margin to sell wholesale? Let me explain. If you are selling on Amazon, let's say for $20, the store is wanting to know that they can sell it in their store for $20 to $25. So that means that when a store buys a product, they want a 50% margin at least. What that means is that they want to buy it from you for $10. So you say, oh my goodness, that's taken my profit. Well, let's talk about volume. The volume at $10 that the store can sell for $20 to $22 or $25. What you don't want a store to do is to search for your product on Amazon, and it is selling on Amazon to consumers for less than they can buy it and sell it in their store. When I started in this industry, no manufacturer would dare sell at a retail online. There was no Amazon at that point. But what was crazy is that slowly in our industry, I mean, no manufacturer would dare put up a website at all, or maybe just an information website, but never a retail website, and never sell retail to the consumers, or a store would not buy from you at all. But now it's different. It started changing about 10 to 12 years ago. And now, as long as you don't undercut your stores, you can sell retail online, and a store doesn't seem to bother it. What that means is that if you're selling for 15, but you're selling to the stores for 10, they can't double their money. So you've got to look at your figures, and after all is said and done, do you have the margin to really enter the wholesale market?
Right. In order to meet that volume, as well, because that's really going to change your sales when you suddenly, Amazon is just one channel. So when you can suddenly sell in hundreds or thousands
Yes,
of
yes,
channels, that's really going to mean a lot more volume for your company. So
yes.
even if, and a lot of people forget about Amazon fees. You're not going to have to pay Amazon fees when you're selling to a retailer, right? You're just
Right.
paying for your cost of goods before it reaches Amazon. And then often the retailer is actually paying for shipping to their location as well.
Oh yeah, all the time. The retailers know that they're going to have to pay for shipping to their location. They know that.
So
Um,
you definitely can fit that into your margin, so you don't have to think, oh my goodness, on Amazon, it's $18 after fees and everything, and I'm only selling it for 25. Well, you may, if you're getting it from your supplier and you can get it to the US to, a 3PL or third party logistics center for, $8, well, then that still leaves you enough margin to do well, because you're still $10 under what you're selling it for. So
but also, but
yeah, go
also,
ahead.
you're going to be selling in volume. And that's one of the things that we've run into with some of the people. They just have a big mass case where a store is not going to want to order. I mean, they're not going to be buying onesie twosies. I mean, when you sell to a store, you're going to sell in 12s or 6s of that item, or 3s or 4s, or So um, you're selling multiples. You're not selling onesie twosies, and
Right.
that saves a lot of work.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then the other thing that we wanted to cover is, do you have a way to take payments? So the first thing is, if all of your products are at Amazon fulfillment centers, you're going to want you can't fulfill wholesale bulk orders from Amazon fulfillment centers. So you're going to want to either have a warehouse that you keep them at. And there's plenty of these warehouses in 3PLs across the country, and they're
Yeah.
very affordable. And you're just going to want to have a way to be able to fulfill products. And again, the retail will pay for shipping. You just have to have a way to say, okay, 3PL, can you send a case of 6 of these to this address? Here's the shipping label that this retailer has provided me. So
Right.
it's very easy, but then you also have to have a way to take payments. So you need, you're not taking the customer's not paying Amazon anymore, right? So you need to be able to take payments. There's plenty of payment providers. You've got Stripe, you've got Square, you've got PayPal. You just need a way to accept a payment for someone buying these quantities from you, and then a way to store your inventory outside of Amazon so that you can fulfill some of it.
Right. And reason why you have to have something like Square or Stripe or something like, or authorized.net or something, you need a way to process a credit card not online. So store may call you, they may fax you an order. There's a way, you need a way to process it, because we don't do our wholesale websites with a gateway where the payment is right away. Let me tell you why. A lot of stores right now, it's January, a lot of stores are purchasing for next Christmas. So they don't even want it shipped till the 1st of November, but they want to place the order now, which is wonderful for you, because that helps you in your scheduling your purchasing and your inventory. But a lot of times they would be really upset if you charge their card now for what they're not going to get until November. So
Right.
you need to be able to take that order securely. They're going to put it on a credit card. You're going to get that credit card. You're going to put it in a folder, and you know when you're going to have to ship. So and let's say a store ordered $1,000 worth of products, but and they want it shipped to you right away, but you only have $500 worth of products in stock. And one of the things the store will tell you if they want things back ordered or not, they'll say back order. yes, or back ordered no. That means if you only have 500 of the $1,000 order that they want on hand, they only want the 500. They only want to be charged for the 500 plus shipping. So you need to, once your order is ready to go, include shipping, then process the order. That's the way it's done in wholesale. Just like if you were at a trade show too, you would take the order, you would get the credit card, but you would not process the credit card until you get back to your office and you're ready to ship.
And so it does also, this last bullet point here, it is going to require some office work, right? It is going to require you taking the order, you're getting some orders, which is really great. You can, order more from your supplier, you can get bigger bulk discounts, that kind of thing. So it's really good for your business. But at the same time, it is going to require some follow-up work to say, hey, we got this order for you, we're ready to deliver it, and get that shipping information and send it out. So just remember, it's not going to be, there is going to be some work to set it up. But once you get it all set up, then it becomes just like any other process in your business, and you're able to grow through that.
Now, there are some 3PL facilities out there that will take the order for you and everything. They'll act your back office. They'll actually take phone calls.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah, I know one in Kentucky, which is good because Kentucky is almost like the middle of the country. And so they can ship to the east or the west, and it's just getting it to the fulfillment company there. But they'll actually act as your back office secretary, and they'll do all that kind of stuff for you. Of course, it's a little fee.
Got it. So let's go over some business rules. So, the whole thing, sometimes you'll notice on websites, there's usually a separate login for wholesalers. And the reason there's a separate login for wholesalers is because you don't want the wholesale prices to be right on your main front page where your retail prices are. And retailers would not want to see that either, right? So, you don't want the customer, and this is like, you got to hide that from the customer, right? That's not the customer facing side of your website. So you really want to have kind of a back end area on your website where a wholesaler can log in and they can follow these business rules for wholesale. And that's what Toni's company sets up for you. So we can go over some of these business rules. They have to be able to register with their sales tax number and all of their retail information. And this is for tax purposes, right? Because you're not charging them taxes.
No.
And you're using that sales tax number. So your accountant's going to need that at the end of the year. So you need to make sure you have an easy way to collect their sales tax information. So if you have this area on your website, it's very easy for them to submit those documents. They're used to it, and then you have everything you need when it comes to tax time to take care of things. And then you need to make sure that you have minimum orders and minimum reorders. And I'll let Toni explain that.
Yes, because it's not unusual at all. Again, your wholesale website is not for onesie, twosie orders. They are for volume orders. So your initial opening order may be $250, but if once a company has ordered from you, maybe the minimum reorder is $50. So it has to be, a wholesale website is a totally different animal from a retail website because it has to meet all these business rules. Over the years, we developed the system specifically for the industry, and each manufacturer has different minimum orders, different reorders, and you need to make sure that the consumers are not ordering from you, that is actually legitimate stores, just like if you were at a trade show. And again, even the items, let's say you have 100 items. Well, some of the items they have to order 6. Some of the items they have to order 12 because that's the way they're packed. And I help you with this too. I mean, there are sometimes a store is they're not gonna order $500 worth of a product if they haven't proven that it will sell in their store. So I tell people, listen, you're getting this big master carton loose that you're using, with loose items that you're using for Amazon, but for a store, they may want those items, only 6 of them. in a mini carton or whatever, small carton. So that's something that you can, once we talk about how best to sell your products, you will talk to your supplier and they will charge a little extra to put them in a mini carton so that the 3PL people can just pick out that carton, slap the shipping label on it, and send it on. Now,
Exactly.
some of the other things is that a store will want to put a purchase order number on it. And maybe your item you're going to offer, if they only order 6 of an item, it's one price, but let's say they're going to order 600 of an item. Well, you may choose to give them a lower price. And that is all easily set up in our system so that it'll actually show them, if you order 6, it's this price. If you order 144, it's this price. But if you order 600, it's this price. And that entices the store to go ahead and get the discount and go ahead and order more products. Now, we already talked about the fact that some people want delayed shipments, but also they want to be able to tell you easily when the ship date is, or if they can't get it by December 24, they want to cancel it. So it's these are just some of the rules, and our system is built so that it easily, you just enter it on a spreadsheet and it easily follows the rules for you. And then our system has a way that you can see reports, like what is your best-selling item online? What is what kinds of stores are purchasing your products? You may be surprised on what stores are purchasing your products and how and what your best sellers are. When I started in this industry back in the early 90s, there would be to Atlanta probably 50 to 70,000 stores that would come from all over the world. Now I'm headed to Atlanta next week, and to be perfectly honest, we'll be surprised if there's 30 to 40,000. The reason why is online. That they can come, and instead of spending 10 days walking the floors ordering products and only being able to order it twice a year, they now can order all the time.
Exactly. So, from any one of the vendors in this wholesale network, right? So, Toni, what kind of products, I think we had this on the previous slide, but what kind of products are not a good fit for small and kind of specialty retailers like this? Are there products that people should not, maybe that aren't a good fit for what OMEGANET does?
I'm amazed what sells. When you go through, like when I'm in Atlanta, there are 8,000 exhibitors. I'll walk by things and I'll think, why would a store ever purchase that? Why would a consumer ever purchase that? But yet, they're there. And yes, even though trade shows used to be more popular, even though some people don't want to do, and it's kind of expensive. It is expensive to do a trade show. Trade shows can still be a vital, important part of the sales. Right. But then again, you need to analyze what kind of trade shows you want to go to. But I don't know if there's any particular kind of products that sell or don't sell wholesale. I mean, we have everything from jewelry to pet supplies to skincare lines to tabletop stuff to tablecloths and sheets. And I mean, yeah, we've got clients of all types of products that do phenomenally. So
it's best just to ask the question. It doesn't cost you anything to ask the question. If you feel like you're ready for wholesale, then you can at least ask the question. So getting in the steps to selling to retailers, we talked about some of the business rules you need to have in place before you can start taking wholesale orders. you're going to start with your local stores. You're going to want to walk to your local store and, well, not necessarily walk. You can drive there if you'd like to. But, you're going to want to go and talk with your local stores. But, and I have this big red arrow here of where Toni's company, OMEGANET, can be most helpful to you when you start moving into multiple stores. But even before you start talking to your local stores, you want to make sure that you have the ability to take wholesale orders.
Mm-hmm.
Now you might be able to work out a couple of deals where maybe if you're not ready yet, a small local store will say, oh yeah, I'll take 10 of those. I'll try it, and then if you have your product in your home or whatever in your own warehouse, you can go take 10 of them over there and you can take a payment. And, we've done that with a few products locally here. So you can definitely do that. But then when you're ready to move beyond local stores, or even if you want to do better in local stores, it's really important for you to have some of these business rules set up. So that's where you're going to want to get with a company like Toni's that's going to help you streamline the process. Because if you have to come up with all your own, sell sheets and, you're having to recreate these rules and take all this information from someone who's trying to buy from you wholesale, versus you automatically having a form that they can fill out that goes into your database and you're done. They have everything they need to fill out. You have everything that you need from them. And, and if we talk about the number of stores, if you're going to your local stores, you're kind of limited in how big you can grow. But when we talk about the number of stores that Toni's company can help you grow to, you're looking at hundreds to thousands of stores.
Yes, because you're in an area. Let's say you're only in Louisiana. Well, then you can reach out, and it's good to reach out to your local stores. I would say your first visit to a local store, just look as a consumer. How are things packaged? Find things that are somewhat similar and say, look how pretty that packaging is. I may need to think about something, and really kind of take a look at pricing. To make sure you can be competitive pricing wise. But yeah, definitely when you're ready to reach out, I mean, even people that do trade shows, maybe they only do Atlanta or they do only New York. What about the West Coast? What about the Northwest? We can target areas where you're not even thinking, oh, this particular product would go good where horses are. Like the Midwest, I really want to target Colorado. And so we can do that for you. And so you don't have to go do a Denver gift show necessarily. We can get you into stores in those areas.
And, we have our friend Timothy Bush who helps us get into big box retail. And when we're ready to do all of that, but these are the stepping stones to getting there. You definitely don't. You don't just want to walk up to Walmart and be like, hey, can I get on the shelf here? There's some steps to it. So, that's my goal this year, is to expand into specialty and small retailers. And there's so many of them. I looked, I think, just pet stores alone for my products. And there's over I think it's 10,000 just in my region. Couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, just in the southern United States, there is 10,000 stores. I couldn't, it's really cool to think if you could even get into 1% of those stores, you could really do wonders for your sales. So definitely, look into that and think about taking some of these stepping stones to getting set up for wholesale, and think about all of the possibilities that are available to you.
One of the first things I've been helping some of Amy's clients with is that many people don't have SKU numbers, item numbers. And so I just help them say, you know what, let's just figure out some item numbers. Again, because you're going to want to present them with a price list, and SKU numbers. The idea is you can be a small little company, but if you have the web presence of a large company, if you have your act together, if you have your SKU numbers and you can take payments, they don't have any idea that you're a small little one-person company. We can make you appear and act like you totally have millions of dollars backing you. because because as long as you have that margin, as long as you have good packaging, your SKU numbers, good quality images of your products, hey, we can get it going and get you in front of a powerful number of stores. And it's not going to overwhelm you. I mean, you can control what orders you accept. We had one person that did decided, he notified the person and said, I'm sorry, I can't fill this order, because they were totally out of stock and they had not removed that item from their website. And stores understand that. They understand.
Definitely. So, as far as that goes, so you can definitely help them get started selling to all of these stores without going to trade shows. But what kind of work do you do at trade shows?
Well, we do a lot of, I walk and talk. I've been doing that for many years. I visit a lot of clients that are at the trade shows. If a client wants temporary booths, I'll actually help them get in. I'm meeting one of Amy's clients at Las Vegas, and I'm going to be kind of taking him through the show and teaching him that there are temporary showrooms where you have your own private booth, okay, and people walk through. There's temporary areas. And then there are also things with permanent showrooms that are rep agencies. These rep agencies have field reps that go out and sell their products directly on the road. And so many of those, know me personally, and so I can introduce people to. Another thing that I do is I actually will, if I'm working with clients and I see something that's similar, I take pictures and send you, because it's important that you know your competition, and pick up maybe some sales materials and say, oh, look, they're charging this for this item and yours is similar. So, it's important to be competitive in the industry, have a professional presence, a professional way of taking orders, and a small company can really just grow from a little. One of my clients he was first trade show when I found him. And he had just some really unique items. He was in his garage still. It was just him in the garage selling. 4 years later, his name was Jeremiah, and he saw me in Dallas and he said, Toni, with the help of your website, I now last year did $4 million.
Yes.
In 4 years, he grew from the garage and grew to like that. So it doesn't always happen like that, but it's not unusual because you are now being presented all over the nation, all over North America, in fact, all over the world. And so, again, a small company can appear very large and successful.
Yes, and I'm so excited. I get to meet Toni this weekend. We're going to meet in person for the first time. I'm going to meet her in Dallas. There is
the Dallas Market Center.
Yeah, and it is the biggest home and is it home and gifts?
It's the home. It's a gift and home trade show in Dallas. There'll probably be about 4,000 exhibitors, but it's the largest lighting show. It's the largest lighting show for lamps and stuff like that in the nation. There's different of the trade shows that have. Atlanta's the largest by far, but Dallas and Vegas are around 4,000 exhibitors.
Yeah,
but it's a fun, and it's it's a new world. When I take people to a trade show, they go, oh my God, I had no idea.
Yes,
it's like a new world.
That's why I'm so think about it, guys. Toni will meet you at a trade show. She will help you kind of navigate it and introduce you to the right people. So, don't be afraid to get started. If you feel after watching this presentation, like you're a good fit for this, then, there's just this whole world out here for you to explore, and we want to help you build your empire. So,
yes.
Let's talk about some of these online sites. So this is a good example of what Toni kind of helped me build on my website. It's just kind of, you can either take your existing website and put a back-end wholesaler login, or Toni can just build you one that is wholesale, just a wholesale only site, right, Toni?
Right, right. We have many people that they don't sell retail at all, and we do their complete site. My employees do the complete site for them. Others have a retail site already. You add a button, detailer login, retailer login, wholesale login, whatever, and then we mimic the look and present it so that the buyer doesn't realize they're going from one site to another.
Yes, yeah. You did that with my site and it looks pretty good. Like it looks the same when you log in there. It's the same colors, the same, so it doesn't look like they're going somewhere else. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, definitely. Anything else we want to say about online sites?
Well, it's just an essential thing now. It used to, I mean, if you want to sell to stores, it's just essential. When we started this, nobody even had a website. I mean, I would get website. Stores will never order from a website. What are you talking about? And now if you don't have a website, stores think, what's wrong with you? If you don't have a wholesale site, it's a convenience. You're giving the stores a convenient way to place orders anytime they want, day or night. They can place an order. They're not dependent on having to call you in the middle of the night or fax you an unsecure way because 99% of the stores are going to give you a credit card number. Okay.
Right. And the thing is, these stores that are finding your products on Amazon and love them, they're not going to want, Amazon has business pricing and tiers, but the thing is, most of these stores, Amazon doesn't follow all the business rules. So it's really important for those stores to be able to reach out and, order from your website, so if they love your product and they're like, oh man, I would love this for my store or whatever, they're going to look for your brand. They're going to look for your website and they're going to see if you have a wholesale login.
Yes, because you've done a good job building your brand in the consumer industry. But what's really exciting about our system is that because we add a whole bunch of marketing, we'll talk about later, but we're going to drive hundreds, if not thousands of stores to your website. When you go to Amazon and a store looks at your product, you don't know who they are. You can't contact them. But every store that comes to your website, they have to register. You get all of their contact information, even if they don't immediately place an order. You're building a database of stores that cared enough about your product to come and register on your website. That is so powerful because before you know it, you're going to have hundreds, if not thousands of stores that have gone on your website. You have all their contact information. You can reach out to them regularly. It's important that you make your website sticky, which means you want people to keep coming back to your website, keep coming back. And this is a powerful way. So you're building your database of potential customers. It's powerful.
Yes. And, you sent, and I'll wait until we get to the email, but tell us a little bit about online portals.
Well, many people, we have an incredible list that we're going to get to in a little while of stores that have registered at one of our portals. Well, we have these portals: giftswholesale.com, decorwholesale.com, accessorieswholesale.com, usmadewholesale.com, apparelwholesale.biz. These are portals where stores go to find real wholesale suppliers. When I started this company, I went online, and this was way back in the late 90s, and I would search for wholesale. Well, I would find sites that weren't wholesale at all. They were just discounted. They called themselves wholesale. But these are definite wholesale suppliers that are real. And so many of these stores, they come here and they click on a banner or a link or information, or they go to the categories and they say, okay, I'm looking for tabletop information. I'm looking, and so they can find a manufacturer, and it links right to their wholesale website. So
the trusted place for them to go without having to wonder if it's just a discounted site or something like that.
Yeah, we wanted one place that a store can go, and they can go one place and they can find all these portals depending on if they're gift, decor, toy, whatever they go to one place. That's just going to help the buyers find you easier.
Got it. Makes sense. Well, that's exciting. So if someone has you build them a wholesale website, a wholesale back end here, are they automatically featured in this portal?
Normally, clients would have to pay for this. That we have a special thing that we're doing with Amy, that for the first year, they get listed on all of the appropriate portals with banners, links, just all kinds of fabulous press releases, etc. Totally free for the first year.
Yay. You hear that, you guys? We get all the good deals. All the good deals. So
Yes.
I just want to talk about email blasts. So email is still really important to retailers. And I know, Toni, you set up my wholesale website and then you sent out some email blasts for me. And that very day that you sent out that email blast, I had 20 different, at least 20 different retailers sign up a wholesale account on my website. And I then got their contact information to follow up with them. And so these email blasts are so powerful because it allows you to get your name out there, and it also allows you to get registrations on your site so that you can now, of interested buyers, so that you can now follow up with them and start making some sales, right?
Yes, because when a store comes to your website and registers for the first time, they can put up to 3 different kinds of stores. So they can say, I'm a gift shop, and I'm also a pet store, and I'm also a florist. So, and then they also can opt in or out. See, this is they can opt out of receiving email blasts. We probably have 200,000 stores plus in our complete Cameo Easy system, our system. We have over 50,000 who have opted in. See, legally, we can only send an email blast out to those who have, opted to receive email blasts. Whereas the portals is a kind of a passive way that a store, even if they opted out of receiving emails, that's still a way to reach them. When you do advertising, you need to do active and passive. And this is active. This is active where we are sending an ad right to their email. Passive is when they are searching for wholesale gifts and they go to Gifts Wholesale and they say, oh, wow. And they click on that and it goes to your website. Google is a passive, so if a store goes to a site looking for something, that's passive. If you send an email out to them, that's active advertising.
And now, Toni, on the left column, you have shop type 1. And on the right column, you have shop type 1, 2, or 3. So for example, the second column, you have an antique shop. So you have 65 of shop type 1 and 88 of shop type 1, 2, or 3. Can we explain that?
Again, when they register, they can put up to 3 different kinds of shops. So the first one they click on, see, they're going to have a drop down. The first one they click on, we put in shop type 1. So you can actually, these are unique stores. Whereas shop type 2 is, again, if they say, I'm also a florist, that will add it up. So that if you're really wanting to target, like in your situation, you only want to target, pet stores, or you only want to target decor stores, or you want, I want to target gift shops, pet stores, home decor and accessory stores, and heck, let's throw in furniture stores. And so we just send out emails to those who said either in 1, 2, or 3. Okay, 1, 2, or 3. You want to get those types of stores. I mean, this is so powerful. I mean, because when you go to trade shows, people walk by, you don't know what kind of store they are. But this way, every time someone registers on your website, you know what kind of store they are. Where they are, you have their contact information. You immediately can say, you know what, the ad that I sent out was advertising this, but we also carry this, and it looks like you carry this. See, so it allows you to really do some targeted email blasts, and you get a few of these free just by being in a site with us. That's cool.
Yes, definitely. It's a way to start it. So
He's a good negotiator.
Yes, I am so excited about the different types of stores that I see here, though. When I think of the products that my clients have, the really cool private label products, and our listeners have on Seller Roundtable, I'm looking here. We have antique shops, aquariums, museums, zoos, art galleries, baby and children shops, balloon and party supply. And I'm reading this because this is going to get posted on our podcast. And I want the people who are not seeing this slideshow to be able to get this information. Beauty salons and spas, boutiques and apparels, bridal and wedding shops, candy shops, card and book shops, caterers, restaurants, Christmas stores, comic book stores, convenience and groceries, corporate buyers, crafts, hobbies, scrapbooking, department stores, embroiderers, monograms, and personalized products. I know a lot of people that sell personalized products, so this is a great opportunity for them. Engravers and trophies. I have a client in the trophy business. Equestrians, florists, furniture and lighting, garden and nursery, gift baskets, gift shops, tons of different gift shops at the airport, the beach, general, hospital, upscale gift shops, gourmet food and wine stores, Hallmark stores, Halloween stores, hardware and home improvement, home decor and accessories, interior design and decorators, jewelry stores, mail order catalogs. Oh my gosh, the list goes on. Manufacturers or distributors reps, mass market, pet shop and feed stores, pharmacy and medical, religious bookstores, resorts and theme parks, schools, shoe stores, souvenir shops, sports stores, tabletop stores, toy stores, and web and online stores. So huge amount of opportunity here, you guys. Huge. Yep. Definitely. All right. So let's talk about the deal. If you guys are wanting to get started with OMEGANET and get your stuff set up to start selling wholesale to some of these smaller and specialty retailers, Toni has deals for us. So you're going to get a 50% discount on your website build out, and on your, you can do it on a 6 or 12-month payment plan. And then for our community only, on those websites, you're going to get your links, your banners, as Toni just mentioned on that wholesale advertising portal. You're going to get that free for the first year. So your product's going to be blasted everywhere online in their network, free for 1 year. That's amazing. And then you're going to get 4 free 10,000 store email blasts, or 2 free 20,000 store email blasts, depending on your product, right? And so this is really, these email blasts, that's going to get your name out there. You're going to be able to help design the email, what it looks like and what kind of presentation you want to put out there. And every retailer who sees your products in these email blasts is going to be able to click immediately on your website link and sign up for an account. So you're going to get all their names and their contact information. And so if you're wanting to claim this deal, you're going to fill out, you're just going to go to omeganetinc.net. So omeganetinc.net, and you're going to click on the contact button. That's the easiest way to get in touch with Toni. And your coupon code is Amy Weiss. It's that easy. So you're just going to tell them, hey, Amy Weiss sent me. I want the good deals. and Toni will hook you up, right?
Yes. I definitely follow up with these personally, and we can set up phone calls, Zoom calls, or however we can. And one of the cases of Amy's clients happens to be right across my state, and we met for coffee and had a great conversation, and he's going to be working with us, and we're excited about that. But many cases, they're not close. We have to do it online. But when I can, and I'm in your area, I'm a people person, and I like a face-to-face contact whenever possible, and a hug.
Definitely. So Toni, I know the other side of our listeners, we have a lot of listeners who like to buy products wholesale. So we have a lot of buyers in our listeners list who also like to buy products from these brands and sell them online. Is it possible? So somebody asks, can we get a list of these available retailers that are offering these wholesale accounts?
The retailers that are offering wholesale accounts. You mean
Yeah,
the
so if somebody's a buyer that's one of our listeners and they want to actually sign up to buy from one
from a
of
wholesale?
us, yeah.
Yeah, all they have to do is go to cameoeasy.com and register. Okay, and you'll be able to go to a lot of them, and yeah, we can send a list out so that they know who our clients are and where to go to buy from them. Definitely, that's not
And
a
then
problem at all.
And then one other thing I wanted to mention before we wrap up today is I want to mention you also do some, if they are not ready for the website yet, do you do some kind of consignment sales or do you do anything where you help push their sales if they're not ready to do the website yet?
I definitely can talk to them and give them some advice, and if there's any way I can help, I can. Um, and and we'll just see. We're all about making people a success.
Exactly. Good. So the best thing to do, you guys, if you're wanting this information, is just go ahead and go to omeganetinc.net and click the contact button. Say, hey, I heard about you on the Seller Roundtable podcast on this recording, and Amy Weiss sent me, and this is my situation, and this is how I would like to work with you. And then Toni's information is here as well. And I just want to thank you, Toni, so much for being here today and for teaching us how to grow our brands and how to get our products out there to stores. And yeah, it's really exciting to watch. I know some of our Canton Fair Experience participants, as well as my clients, have already gotten their first orders. And it's so cool to see them like getting out there and, like you were saying, you're meeting them at trade shows, and it's so cool to see people just growing their brand. Amazon is a great place to start. It's awesome. It's given me incredible opportunities, but it's so great to see people, getting beyond that and being able to really think about growing in volume for their sales.
Yes.
And you guys, so you got this information today. If you aren't sure about your margins, if you aren't sure about your product, that is something that you can always go to amazingathome.com. You can book a coaching call and we will go over your margins. If you need to get better margins, we can help you with that. So if you're in that spot where you're like, I don't know, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know I would like to get there eventually. I'm not ready for wholesale sales yet, but I would like to fix some of my margins and stuff like that. That's where we can help you. We can help you get your foundation set up really good so that you're ready to get over to Toni and start growing your brand.
And a phone call or a Zoom call, or an email, I'm more than glad to follow up with you and give you any tips if I can.
All right. Well, thank you so much again, Toni. And thank you everyone for watching. And we hope that you are having lots of success and you're looking forward to big success in 2020 growing your brand.
Yes.
And we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.